After so many years of just having the shittiest Justice League movie that we had out, we're finally having the Zack Snyder Justice League. I know it came out back in Thursday of last week. Trust me, I watched it like four times just to wanting to experience it all. Because when I watched it the first time, I was just trying to like bring in all the things that went down. Because a lot of things go down. A lot of it is so much different from the original one we got back in 2017. So I kind of just wanted to watch it multiple times just to for me to wanting to go over everything that I want to go over this video. Now I'm not gonna go over like beat by beat of the movie. I kind of want to go over like the minor like the things that changed from the movie that I liked and some of the like nitpicks that I have about this movie and some of the things I really love seeing like my favorite parts of the movie. So just letting you know, spoilers alert. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you go and see it on HBO Max. Sign up for it, or just go like me. I just went to a friend and they let me borrow their subscription, their login or whatever, just to watch it. And honestly, it was so great. And yet, just letting you know, it's 4 hours long. It's fucking long, but to me, I think it's really, really worth it. Like, this is the Justice League movie I was wanting to see. So just get like right out of the gate, I absolutely love this movie. Even the opening scene to this movie is so much better. Like, cause in the original one, it's like we got Superman talking to these kids and like in a recorded phone, and he and like that CGI like lip is like so like distracting to me, and just like it was like that was kind of odd scene. But now this one it opens up to like what how Batman v Superman ended with Doomsday killing Superman and Superman killing Doomsday, and I really like that because it also does it like how Batman v Superman opens up. It opened like in Batman v Superman it opens up with the battle of between Zod and Superman, but in the view of like Bruce Wayne in the with like everyone else like seeing these two gods fighting each other. And now this movie's opening where Superman dies and his cry is like scream after he died like brings out like it's like breaking this like sound barrier, which is so crazy. And it kind of just wakes up the mother boxes on where they at. Like one's with Cyborg at his house, and one's in Atlantis, and the other one is in Themyscira, which kind of brings into like how Steppenwolf is knowing where exactly these boxes. Well, not each one, but at least how he knows like, oh, the mother boxes are here because of Superman's cry. It's like kind of like I don't know. I just really love the opening. It kind of like sets the standards of what the movie's gonna be about. It's about these three mother boxes. Stefan was gonna come into this place and try to get all three of them to form the unity. It's basically the same plot as the original, but instead of like in the original, it's kind of just playing out more like Steppenwolf is kind of like the main bad guy. But no, this one he brings Steppenwolf comes in and he's kind of like a stepping stool for the bigger threat that's going to come later on, which we probably would never get to see, which is Darkseid. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty awesome. Instead of like in the original one, he has like this big old fetish about keep calling it mother, 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 my mother boxes. Like this one, they took all that shit out, which I'm like, thank goodness, because that was pretty stupid. Speaking of Steppenwolf, he not only that he looks better, he honestly sounds better. He's more of a threat. Like the last one, I honestly every time I was seeing him in the original one, I was kind of like he reminds me of like a PS3 character. I was like, I just wasn't getting into it. But this one, I feel like he looks better. His armor's like kind of like more alive in a way, and I thought that was like yeah, he's like more bulky. He even sounds more intense, and just like I just loved it. Like the battle that he has against the Amazonians, like I thought it was honestly, I thought it was a lot better than we got in the original one, and I really liked the original one too. But this one's more, it's more broadened, and it shows more how he's more of a threat, and like lives were taken just to stop him from obtaining this mother box from Themyscira, and I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. Like I don't know, this whole movie is like that, where even though we get to see scenes that we already seen in the original one, it's like more extended, and it's also, I think, in my opinion, more better because they're adding more context to it and more details that we didn't get to see in the original one, and I really love that. Like, for example, Batman meeting Aquaman. I really like that. You get to see Bruce Wayne climbing this mountain, going around and finally finding him, going up to the people, trying to talk to them. Like, instead of like seeing like this terrible ass drawing on the wall showing their Aquaman with like the three mother boxes. No, it's just he's talking to him and trying to recruit him to the team. And there's not that like those couple scenes in there where it's like you could tell Ben Affleck's kind of like more, he gained some weight because he just got out of rehab. Like, those scenes are out, and I just think that it's just more better. Like, I think the dialogue, it's just more better, and then interacting with each other is like more better. Like I said, it's more extended, it's more better like than the original one, and I really do appreciate that. Just letting you know, this movie is rated R, and it's because there's a lot of blood into it. Like Steppenwolf, like slicing down the Amazonians, and later on like taking down the Atlanteans, and taking down some other people just to obtain these mother boxes. And like, there's even some F-bombs. There's a total of 3 F-bombs. One when Wonder Woman takes out these goons at the bank, and one's like later on with Cyborg that I really love, and then later on in the movie that we'll talk about more into. And yeah, it's just more R-rated. And to me, I don't know how I really feel about like seeing Wonder Woman just killing these goons at the bank. I feel like I don't know, just seeing these characters just kind of be more of a killer aspects to it. I kind of not really a fan of, but I guess it fits this tone for Zack Snyder's verse, so I guess I'm okay with it. I'm kind of just accepting it in a way, but yeah, it still kind of bugs me because I'd rather see these superheroes be more of a, like, well, they could just take them down, but they don't know how to kill them. Like, there's a point where Wonder Woman like brings her bracelets together and like blasts this dude, and I'm just like, God, that was like straight up overkill, but it was awesome, but overkill. And the another thing that really is so much different from the original is my boy Cyborg. Like, I'm not gonna lie, in the original one, I was like, by the end of the movie, I was like, I could care less about Cyborg, but in this one, there's so many scenes they took in out, guys. Like, so many. Like, he is honestly the heart and soul of this movie. And if I would have told you that from the original one, you would not believe me. But like in this version, I was like, he is the heart and soul of this movie. Like, like, you get to see him like seeing how he got his accident, because they never even explored it in the original one. It was just like, what even happened exactly? You're kind of just making assumptions, but no, like, he got in a car crash with his mom. His mom lost his life. He died, but his dad's like, nah, I want to bring him back to life. So, because his dad's a scientist, so he's trying to bring him back to life. And then he had the mother box, and they even explore into how he even obtained the mother box. And like, I'm telling you, this even though it's 4 hours long, it do like all the, like, they do bring in all the details and making it more a cohesive storytelling, and I really do appreciate that. But there's even a scene where Cyborg like helps this one lady like with her financial problems. Like, she literally only had like $11 in her bank, but then he made it to like she had like $100,000 now or something like that. I can't really remember exactly, but yeah, it's crazy. I don't remember exactly, but I already watched it like 4 times. But yeah, but he really helped her out. I thought that was really nice. I thought that was a really cool film. Like, it's showing that like with just a single thought, he could like unleash all like the nukes and all that. I just thought it was showing them how powerful he was with like computers, basically. And you got to see some of his flashbacks, and before he became the cyborg, and like, he always had like a kind soul to him. And he always like in this one scene, he's like, when he was still a student and a football player, he helped change grades for this one kid, like one of his friends. So it's kind of like showing that like he has some hacking abilities before he became the cyborg. So I thought that was a pretty cool detail in there. And you get to see more of his relationship with his father. You get to see more of his father. We didn't really get to see shit of his father in the original one. We get to see more, and I'm talking about all kinds of spoilers, but we even get to see his dad die, which he did not die in the original one. he dies in this one, which is like, I don't know. Like, to me, I could see why Ray Fisher, the dude that plays Cyborg, I could see why he was so displeased with the original one, because it's like they really cut basically like 90% of his scenes out into like he's just there, like, I don't know, like he plays a key role into this movie, and the fact that this is like they just made him into this one thing, it's just like they really did a disservice for him, like, so badly. Like, yeah, like with Aquaman and Flash and Wonder Woman, they took out a scene or two of them, both with Cyborg, they took out, like I said, 90% of his shit out of the movie, and it's just like they really did a dishonor of Cyborg, and I'm glad we got to see it in this version. It just, like, to me, like, his scenes were like so awesome to see, like, so it's more fleshed out. Like, he really goes through an arc in this movie, and I'm so glad they finally put it back into this movie. Speaking of scenes that they took out, they even took out like the way they introduced the Flash is not like a jokey scene where he writes on someone's face. No, they took that out. No, it said it's like they show him like he's trying to get a job at this like pet place, and then he ends up meeting Iris. They don't say her name, but you're kind of assuming like, oh, it's his love is his life, Iris from the comics and the TV show. And you get to see how he's really powerful with his with like the power of his speed, and he, like, I don't know, I really love that moment. It gets kind of weird because like she's like Iris gets in this crash and Barry goes and tries to save her before, so she doesn't die. And he's kind of like taking his time, just like looking at her, caressing her face. He's like, yes, yes. I'm like, that's just creepy. Just save her. And then they even hit a hot dog stand. So it's kind of like he's all grabbing a hot dog and putting it in his pocket. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, he's just being kind of creepy. Like, I get it. Like, this Flash is like more quirky, more like kind of like and like really awkward social kind of guy. I get that, but I feel like that was just kind of pushing it. Where it's like, nah, that's just he's just kind of weird, especially when he's just caressing her face. And but other than that, it was pretty fucking cool seeing him, like, even like when he's about to start running, like his shoes just like his feet just like just takes off his shoes, like his shoes just like fucking disintegrated. I thought that was pretty awesome scene. And then, like, I don't know, it was a beautiful scene. I really like the song behind it, but like I said, like, it was kind of weird. He just like caressing her face. I'm like, I think they could have done away with that one. Woman's more of a badass. Like I said, she takes out these goons at the bank. It's more of a badass scene. Like, oh my, I love it. And you get to see her like going over to this one building that her mom sends out a signal after Steppenwolf takes out the mother box from Themyscira. She sends out a signal for Wonder Woman to go out and see this temple to learn more about this pending doom that's gonna come, which is like she's learning more about Darkseid, and she gets to figure out like, oh, like, so back then, like, the old gods, teamed up to go against Darkseid when he tried to come to Earth like 500,000 years ago or something, 5,000 years ago or something, like over 5,000 years ago or something like that. And that battle was awesome. Like, it's longer because I think like in the original one's like 3 minutes long, and it's Steppenwolf trying to conquer Earth. No, it's Darkseid, and seeing Darkseid for the first time in live action, I thought that was so great. You're seeing like the ultimate baddie of this universe. He's the Thanos to Marvel. And I'm just like, I was so happy to see that. You get to see like Zeus, Wonder Woman's dad, freaking who else? Yeah, Zeus, the Atlanteans, the freaking Amazonians. You even get to see a Green Lantern. There's them like teaming up to go to stop Darkseid from taking over Earth, like he's done with other planets. And to me, that it was just so awesome. It's kind of like everyone's teaming up, no matter like what differences they have. They're putting it aside to team up to stop Darkseid. And it kind of like shows later on, like, it's kind of like, the forming of the new gods, which is like the Justice League, like just teaming up, putting their differences aside, to team up to go sub against Steppenwolf, and I really dug that. And it was just, I don't know, that scene was just so awesome. It's just like, it's so Zack Snyder ish, but I just loved it. Like, that scene was just so awesome to see in live action. I even love the conclusion they even go to into why they're bringing the Superman back. Before, it's kind of like Batman's like, oh, let's bring Superman back. We have the mother box, let's just bring him back. And it's kind of like, he's the beacon to the world, which I'm like, I always thought that was so odd from the original one, because it's like, Batman, you literally spent a whole movie trying to kill him. Like, now you're like, oh, he was a beacon to the world. He was an inspiration for me and others. It's like, no, he wasn't. You hated him. You wanted to kill him. But in this version, it's kind of like they're putting the pieces together, saying like, well, why are they coming now? Like, the mother box has been here for a good ass minute. Why are they coming now? And they're like, they figured out, it's like, well, they start coming after Superman died. So they're kind of like, oh, so they're afraid of Superman. If we bring Superman back to life, they can't stand a chance against us, you know? So I like that more than Batman being like, he just felt guilty, like, okay, let's bring Superman back. No, they're like, there's more to it and to why they're bringing Superman back. And I really like that. And there's no disagreements with other in the group. Like, you don't have like this unnecessary like tension between Wonder Woman and Batman like you did in the original one about bringing Superman back. No, you don't have that. That's gone. I really do appreciate that. Like, the team are like all for it. Let's do this. And obviously it comes to backfire, because he's like, he comes up, he doesn't even know who the fuck he is. He's like kind of freaking out, and he ends up like, oh, I'm glad they still put this in where like Superman is like being the shit out of the Justice League, and he has like all three of them like all right there, like no effort, and Flash starts running, and you know, the Flash is the fastest man alive, and then you just see Superman just like turn his eyes, just looking at Barry, like showing that, dude, we're as fast, like, I'm as fast as you, I might be faster than you. And I really, oh, I was so happy they still had that in the movie, because that was like my favorite part of like the original one. They still have it there. It just showed how Superman's so powerful, and you get to see him like blasting Batman against the car, and he's like legit using his heat vision, trying to kill him. And but Lois Lane comes in to help, and is like, you know, she's like, okay, like, let's leave, and they leave. I like that a little bit more than like Superman in the original one. He like grabs Batman, and he's just like, tell me, do you bleed? It was kind of like, it was cool, but yeah, it was kind of goofy, just because like I said, like his CGI lift from the original one was just like, it always took me out of that. But this one, he does not speak at all. He's just all about business, just taking all of them out. And I really like that more than what we got before. Speaking of Lois, she really doesn't do much in this movie. She's really just there like mourning for Superman, and just like, she doesn't even go to work. And she has this like really nice talk with Martha, what we will get into later. And you know, she's kind of like, later on, she's kind of accepting, like, okay, it's time for me to move on. But then she sees him, comes back to life, and she's like, okay, I guess not. And then she like interacts more with Superman, like before he goes fights off with the Justice League. So she really doesn't do much. She kind of just brings into being like, well, she's there because Superman's there. You know what I'm saying? Just like what's it called? Like, bring him back into like the light side, I guess. So I guess that's her only purpose of the movie. She doesn't really bring much. There's even hints, because like they show like she has like a pregnancy test like by her bedside or something. So it's kind of hinting like she might be pregnant. So maybe so. And like even later on, you hear Bruce Wayne tell Clark Kent like, congratulations, by the way. So it's kind of hinting like, yeah, she is pregnant. So I wonder where they would have gone with that, but I don't know if we ever get to see that. And by the way, earlier when I was talking about Cyborg's dad dying, is because he's trying to get I think he was trying to do something with the mother box. He's trying to get away from Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf is hot on his trails, so he decides to sacrifice himself to make the make the mother box like as hot as it can be, so it could be the hottest metal on Earth. So like the rest of Justice League could like find it easy, like detect it more easier, because like I said, it's gonna be the hottest metal on Earth. So it's gonna causing like this radiation. I'm not quite sure exactly the mumbo jumbo about that. I can't really remember, but yeah, he sacrificed himself just so the rest of the league and especially his son could find the mother box and see where Stephen was all at, so they could go out and stop him. And I really like that because at first I thought he tried to destroy it and he died. So and I was like, well, that was a dumbass sacrifice. But no, he's just like, oh, he sacrificed him for his he sacrificed himself so that mother box could be the hottest metal on Earth. And they kind of go over that earlier in the movie about like him and Ryan Choi. Like I think that was a cool addition about like like hating this things to be like the hottest metal on Earth for a bit and shit like that. So I like that they brought it back to play into this scenario. Like I said, like it's just like I like, you're watching from beginning and you're just like noticing all these details into like them bringing into this like this whole wholesome story we're getting for this Justice League movie, and that's what I really like. And like I just said with Ryan Choi, later on he becomes the Atom, the hero, the superhero, the Atom. Like it was pretty cool. He's just a scientist here. He's not a superhero here, but I think it was a pretty cool setup. If they want to ever do something with him, like, well, he's here. You could do something with him later. He could be So I really like that detail of that. Now we even get to see Superman going to his spaceship to get a suit so he could go and then going to Alfred to go find the Justice League and team up with them to go stop Steppenwolf. And that's what I really loved. He goes to the ship and he's hearing both voices of his fathers, like talking to him in his head, I'm assuming, and just like he finds this black suit, puts it on, and you see him, oh, like to me, like him blasting off to the sun, just like absorbing all like the power from the sun, because that's how, especially with the black suit. And I really loved it. To me, that was like goosebumps moments for me, I was just like, why did they take it out from the original one? It like to me, it just baffles me into like why it took like so much of this shit out. Cause like to me, that was a really great Superman moment of the movie. Him just flying, like hearing his father talking to him, saying like, "You got this. You know what to do. It's time for you to fly." And he just goes up blasting into the sun to absorb the energy so he could go fight with the Justice League. And that was just awesome. Like, why do you take that out? Why? In the ending battle, though, it was so much better than the original one because you got to see these like you see these people going through their things throughout the movie, and then when they finally come together to battle Steppenwolf and the parademons, you're kind of like pumped. You're like, hell yeah. They're like, to me, you're like, I'm like, this is a fucking team. More than we've got in the original ones. Like, you didn't really get that much time with them, and you didn't really feel like there was a team. It was like, oh, yeah, well, they had to team up because, well, this is the Justice League movie, Here, I felt like it was more well earned than when we got before. And it was so awesome just seeing them, like, hell, they even like kind of like bounce off their like abilities with each other, like where they're kind of working off with each other's powers. That I don't remember seeing that before in the original one, but it's definitely the highlight here. And it ends with, oh god, like to me it was so awesome. Like they lose to Steppenwolf, the mother boxes end up forming together to this Trinity, and it just blows up. So everyone just dies, except for the Flash. He puts him. I'm pretty sure he like puts himself connects himself to the Speed Force, and he starts running just to like go back in time just a little bit before they end up losing. And I'm like, why do they take this out? Because in the original one, they literally just have Flash go and save like this family of 4, and he gets one up by Superman saving like this whole building of people we don't even get to see. And I'm like, why? And this one, he time travels even just for a little bit just to save the world. And you're like, and you're telling me that they're like, we could do better, we could do this one. I'm like, no. That one was just so awesome, seeing like showing a, and then Cyborg taking out the mother boxes, separating them. To me, it was just like, it's in the original one, it's kind of like, oh, Superman is like the main key and why they won. No, like everyone played a factor into it, especially Cyborg and the Flash on saving the world. Like, come on, like this is it's called the Justice League, not Superman. It's called the Justice League. Like they all had to put into like their they all had to contribute something into saving the world and winning this battle. And to me, like it was just so awesome seeing like goosebumps. I was kind of tearing up just seeing the Flash like time traveling. Like, oh, I just loved every single moment of that. No, it does not end there, but it does. It has like a narration from Cyborg's dad talking to him in this voice recording. But while he's narrating, you're gonna see like the rest of the heroes just separating off to their own movies or no movies. But you're kind of getting like an ending to like this movie, anyways. And I like his narration better than what we got with Lois Lane's narration in the last movie. So I thought that was also an upgrade. But we also get to see Lex Luthor escaping out of Arkham and him interacting with Deathstroke, Slade Wilson. I mean, we got to see that in the original one in the after credit scene, but this one's part of the movie. It's not an after credit scene. It's part of like the epilogue scene, I guess. But we get to see Deathstroke, but the dialogue's different. It's basically the same, but the dialogue's a little bit different. Before, Lex Luthor's like close up shot, like, should we form a league of our own? Like, kind of like hinting at like a Legion of Doom or Injustice gang. No, I mean, there's still some hints to that since he's talking to Deathstroke, but no, he's telling him, he's like, I got a tip for you. Like, I get Deathstroke, broke him out of Arkham so he could get some information to help against the Batman because he wants to go up against Ben Affleck's Batman. And he's like, I have something that could help you. His name is Bruce Wayne. And it's like, what? So it's kind of like hinting at to Ben Affleck's solo Batman movie that we were supposed to get, but we're just never gonna get now. Which is like, I remember before they were like hinting at like, yeah, like Ben Affleck's Batman solo movie, the main villain was gonna be Deathstroke, and I guess that's how he got he got his secret identity out from Lex Luthor in this movie. I thought that was a pretty good. Like, I was like, oh, I would love to see that, like this version's Batman, I guess, goes up against this version's Deathstroke, but I guess not. But there's more. We got more of the nightmare sequence that we got to see a little bit in Batman v Superman, but we got to see here. You get to see like Batman with Cyborg, with the Flash, Mara, and a Mohawk Deathstroke, and I was like, they're all trying to like, it's like a fucking Mad Max Fury Road type world. That's what it looks like. And just seeing them, they're like kind of like the only survivors right now. To me, it was awesome. And there's Jared Leto's Joker. And I remember seeing that in the trailer. I was like, I want to see where this is gonna go. And it's just seeing the scene. It was so awesome because Zack Snyder even said himself, he's like, it's kind of a shame that we never got to see Ben Affleck's Batman interact with Jared Leto's Joker. You could say, well, Suicide Squad, but no, it's like he's literally just on top of the car while Joker's driving. Like they don't interact with each other really. We really haven't seen a live action Joker and Batman interact with each other since The Dark Knight in 2008. And finally we're getting to see that, like them kind of pushing each other's buttons, Joker talking about him killing Robin, and then Batman talking about Batman just he has this one line. I was like, because he's talking about like Harley Quinn dying in his arms, kind of getting into the Joker's mind too, like how Joker's always trying to get into Batman's mind. But he's like, and don't make a mistake, I will fucking kill you. I was like, oh, I just love that part so much. It's just like, to me, that was freaking awesome. And I guess they're just making a truce for right now to do what they have to do. Because I'm guessing like from what I've seen, and I've seen other videos and read some things. So I'm guessing they're going to Joker because he has a mother box, and they need that mother box to power up a cosmic treadmill for Flash to time travel to prevent this fucking nightmare future. And before the scene the scene ends, before the scene ends, Cyborg's like, he found us, and then you just see Superman just landing right there. Everyone's like all preparing to they're all preparing to fight him, and Batman's like, oh fuck. Joker's all laughing, of course. He doesn't really give a fuck. He's like, oh well. And you just see Superman with his laser vision. I mean, his laser eyes just like ready to kill. He even has like a little evil smile, and I'm like, holy shit. And then Ben Affleck wakes up, and I'm like, that was awesome. That was fucking awesome. Like, everyone says, oh, it's just tacked in there. Like, it probably is. Because Zack Snyder did shoot this over quarantine of last year, but I fucking loved it. It was just so awesome seeing. It's kind of like, yeah, it is setting up for another movie that we probably would never get to see. But to me, I'm glad it was there. So, and it doesn't end there. I know it's kind of like, what else do they show in here? But you get to see Bruce Wayne talk to the Martian Manhunter. And when I was talking about earlier with Lois Lane talking to Martha, Martha leaves the room and her eyes glows red. And I was like, what's going on here? And she forms, and it's the Martian Manhunter. I was like, what the fuck? He's in this movie? And he even like forms back to like this general that we seen in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. Like, that guy, I was like, he was Martian Manhunter the whole time? Which I was like, that's fucking awesome. But at the same time, why the fuck did he not do anything in Man of Steel or Batman v Superman? Like, he's like, you know what? Nah, I'll just let them deal with that. I'll just come back another time. Fuck you guys. But yeah, he's in this movie and he's talking to Batman. He's like, maybe I should join your team. Maybe I should finally get off my ass and do something. And my name is the Martian Manhunter. And he just flies away. And I'm like, oh my god, that show was awesome. And it ends, it says for Autumn, Zack Snyder's daughter that passed away. I thought it was a really great movie. Don't get me wrong. Is it perfect? No. It still has some like problems that I have with it, like some weird scenes, like Flash caressing her face is like, save her, stop fooling around. There's some song choices where I'm like, or like, if you watch the movie, Wonder Woman has her own singer. Every time she pops up, like, you hear this one like little song like every fucking time. It's like, I think they could have cut down like to only being once in a while so it could make the scene more epic. But it's like, you're having every fucking scene that she's in, it kind of just makes it more like redundant. It's like, yes, we get it. In the beginning where we have Batman, like when Aquaman leaves after talking to Bruce Wayne, you had these like girls start like singing, and I was like, Aquaman has his own choir now or what? Like, every time he leaves? And then and this one, like, he takes off his shirt before he leaves, and this girl like grabs it and starts smelling it. I was like, that's kind of odd. Another thing too that I have everyone like talking about it, and I'm like, I don't know how to defend this, so I can't really. It kind of bugs me too now. Like Darkseid lost to Earth years ago, but somehow forgot where Earth was. He didn't know where the mother boxes were at. He didn't for some reason he forgot where the one planet that fought back and won. He forgot where it was at. It's just like, people are like, why couldn't he drop a pin on it? And I'm like, yeah, that is weird. Like, why didn't he not remember where the fuck it was at? I always thought that was odd. Like, the only reason they went back to because they heard it finally come out because after Superman died, so it woke in the mother boxes. But it's just like, they didn't know where Earth was at. So, like I said, like, there's some minor problems with it. Not big ones, but it's kind of like, like, for me, to being where like, oh, it's a fucking great ass movie. It's a really good movie though. So after all that's been said, I talked a lot about this movie. There's probably a lot of things I still left out because I like a lot of things go down in this 4 hour movie. And another nitpick about it too. It doesn't bother me, but I know it's gonna bother a lot of people. It's 4 fucking hours long. It's long as fuck. But I feel like it justifies it being 4 hours long. So I'll give it that. A lot of people probably have a problem with it. I don't really have a problem with that. I already watched it like 4 times. Sadly, I have no life. But honestly, the more I think about it, I'll probably give this movie a 9 out of 10. So I love this movie. It's definitely way better than the original one. Like the original one, I was kind of embarrassed to even talk about it to people. I'm like, oh yeah, that's our Justice League. No, like this is our Justice League movie. To me personally, I love the MCU movies. Don't get me wrong, I love them all, most of them. So, if you compare to the Avengers, I don't really like comparing, but to me, I like Zack Snyder's Justice League movie better than the first 2 Avengers movies. I think I like it about the same as Avengers Endgame. So Infinity War is still gonna be up there, but honestly, this movie's so great. It felt epic. It felt like they were an actual team. It felt so grand in scope and scale. Like it's just this is the Justice League movie that I've been wanting to see for a long time, and I'm glad I can finally say that. And I can't wait to finally own it on Blu-ray or 4K when it finally comes out on that. So if you guys have seen it, please let me know what you guys think about it. It's on HBO Max if you haven't seen it. It's 4 hours long. So, and there's 6 parts. It even tells you like part 1, part 2, and an epilogue, so you could like space it out into like so you don't have to watch it all in one going. I do, so because I'm crazy and have no life like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of a long video because I've been waiting for this movie. I love this movie, so I just wanted to make sure I put a lot of things out there. And let me know what you guys' favorite scene. I think my favorite scene is either the nightmare sequence or Flash time traveling. Or Superman fighting the Justice League. There's a lot of great scenes in this movie. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope you guys give it a like and subscribe to me. Because I do really appreciate it. I love doing this. Like talking about all kinds of movies and TV shows. I don't know. I just love doing it. But yeah, give me a like and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time. Take care.